Hello, everybody. Corey's back here, and in this video, we will be doing a weekly roundup of the YieldMax single stock ETFs. I know I made lots of changes on the workbook last week as we were talking through this because this was somewhat new, and so I'm not doing that today. And I know since we've also talked about changing this back to be an up and down format like previously, but nobody said they wanted to see what the total amounts of the trades were weekly. So yeah, this is what we were doing, but nobody said anything about wanting to, see those trades weekly. So I figured this one is a dead one. We did talk about, going back to the up and down format. This is just where I'd copied and pasted what I previously had. However, for this week, I haven't built it, so we're going to go with what we have here with it going the other direction because it is already built. What I have done is I've hidden anything to do with the distributions and calculations and thoughts about that because that's in a separate video if you want to watch that. So here what we're going to do today is we're going to go over, you can see the dollar amounts for the shares, and this is just for this pay period, and you can see that, and then we'll go over as far as where the stock has gone in the same pay period. So and if y'all want me to call it something else, I don't know if I called it something else last time, but like at work, our pay, what we get paid on, is called a pay period. So that's just immediately what comes to my head. So here in this first chart here for these, again, we're going to have to just go over them in sections. This is going to make this a lot easier for me and those watching right now versus keep scrolling back and forth. But here, again, we have our dollar amounts. Now this share amount right here, and I copied and pasted on its own sheet, so it would, I guess I need to start breaking these sheets out, but I didn't want things to start going crazy while I was doing it. But yeah, just wanted to make sure, but that is the total dollar of the amount of the trades divided by the current outstanding shares. Let's see if I can make that a little bit smaller. Probably can make this one a lot smaller. It's just you want me to see the title, but it'll be okay. So AIYY, these are from the dates in the top left, so from April 5th to today, or through Thursday, the total amount of the trades they've brought in, AIYY has brought in 2.4 million, which equates to $1.27 as of today's outstanding share count. AMD has brought in 5.6 million, $1.05 per share. AMZ has brought in 1.1 million, 44 cents a share. Aptly has lost almost 2 million, which is negative 63 cents a share. Coney has brought in 89 million, 668 a share. Dizzo, 413,079 cents a share. Phoebe, 2.4 million, 97 cents a share. GUI has paid out 2.7 million, which is negative 1.61 a share. JPMO brought in 266,000 at 48 cents a share. Murney has brought in 578,053 cents a share. MSFO 435,000 at 22 cents a share. And then Misty would be the exception to these because their data is as of inception, so they are not constrained to these dates. Which this was out 2 weeks prior to this date, so it should be about 6 weeks worth of trades. But Misty overall, again, overall, into this column does not constitute how much, or it should not be used for how much is going to be received for distribution purposes. Please watch the separate video for those different calculations and guesses. But Misty has brought in 10.5 million at $9.98 a share. And then if we move on to Nestle, they've brought in 977,042 cents a share. NVIDIA 50.1 million at $4.13 a share. I don't even remember. Now I'm trying to remember what their estimate was on the video earlier. For some reason, I don't remember it being that high, but I could have just totally not paid that much attention when I was going through it, to be honest with you. Never mind, I see why. And that's because most of the money was earned on the synthetic, which was 60 million. And that's because they closed out some synthetic because the short calls, they needed some money to cover the net amount on their short calls. Because here, if you look, if they brought in 12.5 million on the short calls, but their total net, is 10.6 million. Yeah, that's not good. That's what, a loss of 23. I don't know, it's a lot. Anyway, yeah, so that's why, because that's not close to the distribution amount if we base it off the premium. But OARC here has brought in 2.6 million, which is an average of 48 cents a share. PayPay 23,000. I guess they lost a bunch on their short calls. 3 cents a share. SQY 984,000, which averages out to 76 cents a share. 3.2 million on Tesla, which is 7 cents a share, and Zomo 1.1 million at $1.21 a share. So now I'm just curious, since we covered all those, I don't understand sometimes, I'm telling it to sort, but it's not gonna sort. Can be frustrating. Let's see. We are on weekly. Oh, crap. Oh, I'm down at the bottom. Oh, you know what? It is sorted now. Maybe I guess while I was messing with my computer, it's sorted. But you can see we have 2 accounts that were negative overall for all of their trades, and it was just GUI and Aptly. Of course, we have some single-digit ones there, which was PayPay and Tesla. And then our biggest ones for, again, overall trades, obviously Misty and Coney at $10 and $7, NVIDIA at $4, AIY, that's interesting. Our dollar winners were AIYY, Zomo, and AMDY. Phoebe almost got a dollar with 97 cents. And everybody else is just sort of in between 22 to 79 cents. Which that's actually impressive for Dizzo, 79. And then Blocks at 76. Anyway, I just wanted to see what those look like. Again, these are not for distribution calculations. It's just what overall, with all the trades that they have made, where they stand. Now, if we go over, the question is going to be, how can we get these right here to come over on a page? So I'm going to make some of these smaller so we can see them. There we go. That'll work right there. All right. What I want to do though, now I don't know. Don't want to do it in alphabetical order. Well, let's look at our underline, right? Because that's always what we care about. Our yield max one. So if we look at our dollar amount as far as, and let's see, for right this minute, I'm actually going to bring this over so you can see. We're just going to go over the share price. But in column O, if you remember, that's like, well, I guess it's not going to be a good comparison because this is the per share right now as far as them going up or down. Just glancing down here. So, yeah, the share count changes, so that won't exactly, yeah, never mind. Never mind. Move over. I can zoom back out, but then I know I forget sometimes since I do this on an iPad that, some of you are on phones. I know that's what I'm on when I'm listening to other people. I'm on my phone. All right, let's try this again. Anyway, I've got this sorted back in alphabetical order so we can go down each one. But, wow. So, again, now these are from the ex-dividend date to now. Okay, and then of course at the top. So last week when I put that up there, I put the wrong formula, and I had copied and pasted over my formula for the Nasdaq versus the S, even though it said S&P. So I just left the Nasdaq now since I already had it there, and I just added the S&P. So you can just see also the time frame in this exact same time frame. This is where the S&P and the market went. Of course, it's on the top of both of them if we were only looking at one or the other. Of course, in this instance, we are looking at both. But, and then, so, I guess, or I should do a reminder. So we have, that's the open, again, ex-dividend date, current, so close of Thursday. The first difference is our dollar amount. The second difference is our percentage. And then our next column is our ranking. And then on the other end, it's the same thing, but it's for the underlying. And then column V right in the middle is actually who did better. Was it yield max or was it the underlying? So AIYY has dropped $1.62, and AMD has dropped $2.46. AMZ 92 cents, Apple 2 cents, 20 cents, sorry. Coney $4. Hold on, what am I saying? I said dropped on the first two, and I think I continued saying it. AMZ went up 92 cents, Apple went up 20 cents, Coney went up $4.42. Dizzo is up 92 cents, Phoebe is down 24 cents. GUI is up $1.43, which, if I remember correctly, they had huge losses, right? Yeah, they had like $2.7 million losses in trades. And then Phoebe had winnings in trades, but their stock price is down. It could be because maybe one of them, so I didn't think about this before, but maybe it's because they had a large payout or something the month before, and then the recovery between them. So I'm going to make myself a note. Okay. But anyway, so these were last week when we did these, we changed these formulas to make sure that we started on the ex dividend, so it already dropped, right? So we could have an easy comparison to the AI, and we didn't have to add dividends or distributions back in or anything. But all right, so we'll keep on going. So GUI is up $1.43. JPMO is up 49 cents. Murny is up $1.64. MSFO is up 93 cents. Misty, of course, you see that color, that tells you it's different. This is from inception. So they're up 22.61 and $22.61 to be clear. Nefli is up 48 cents. NVIDIA is up 55 cents. OARC is up 38 cents. PayPay is up $1.84. SQY is up $3.36. Tesla is down 23 cents. And Zomo is up $1.13. Now, if we look at these, I figure there'd be a lag. So now I have it sorted by like biggest, like the overall percentage better, right? I did it for Yield Max specifically. Now, if I remember correctly, actually, I went back and was watching my video because I was like trying to figure out what I covered last time just to make sure I was doing something similar. I think 1 through 15 were like almost identical with like an exception of 2 were swapped. But I'm looking here and it looks like we have a more than just a couple swapped as far as the rankings go. And then, of course, again, in the middle we have, and I should color these a different color because it's hard to sort of blends in. I know me and my colors make it totally different. Okay. So obviously Misty is up 111%. So it's number one for Yield Max, but over on, the other side we can see MicroStrategy itself is up 149%. So the underlying one there. And again, the MicroStrategy is also since the inception of Misty, so those dates match. Coney, let's see. Coney, we're up 18%, while Coin is only up, no, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, only up 16%. So that makes Yield Max ETF Coney the winner for that. Even though both of them are number 2 ranked within their categories, meaning the Yield Max category and the underlying category. SQY is number 3 for the Yield Max family, and it's up 15%. And the underlying block is up 12%. So it actually, SQY, beat the underlying there. And PayPay is number 4 for the Yield Max team. It was up 10%. However, PayPal was up 14%. So it actually is better, and the number 3rd one for the underlying. And then if we go to GUI is up 9%. It's number 5 for Yield Max. But Alphabet was actually up 13%. So it won as far as doing better, and it ranks number 4 for the underlying, which I probably don't care where those rank on the underlying. Okay, so Murny here. I'm going to take a breather so maybe I can talk. Murny is up 8%, so it ranks number 6. However, the underlying Moderna still did better with 11%. Zomo is up 7%, ranking 7. but ExxonMobil is up 9%, therefore winning. MSFO is up 4%, ranking 8. And apparently Microsoft also was up 4%, but the rounding, I guess, made that one better. That made Microsoft better. Dizzo is up 4%, but Disney is up 8%, almost double, so the underlying one there as well. AMZ is up 4%, ranking number 10. Amazon is only up 3%, therefore AMZ is the winner. Ozark is up 3%, ranking 11. But ARK was only up was up 0%, 17 cents. And OARK was up 3%, but it was up 38 cents. And then Netflix is up 3%. Netflix was only up 1%. JPMO is up, so that made Netflix YieldMax win. JPMO is up 2%, but JP Morgan is up 16%. NVIDIA is up 2%, but NVIDIA is up 3%. Apple is up 1%, which is 20 cents. But Apple's up 0%, but it's actually up 42 cents. FBY is down 1%, but Meta was down 2%. So the rest of these from Apple and the rest of these that I'm saying, all the YieldMax ETF won. So Apple was Apple, and then Phoebe, and then now Tesla is down 1%, but Tesla is down 2%. AIYY is down 10%. However, AI is down 17%. AMD is down 11%. However, AMD is down 14%. So, I'm just curious, though, on the other side. Well, one thing we didn't address is the percentage, as far as if we were comparing it to the NASDAQ, and I probably care more about that. Did I do it the wrong direction? I did. You know what? I guess the other direction makes more sense, because we have the NASDAQ and the S&P up 2 and 3%. So the ones that did not beat the NASDAQ were Apple, Phoebe, Tesla, AIYY, and AMD. And then there's two that are at 2%, which is NVIDIA and JPMO. Everybody else had a higher percentage than 2%. And then S&P was up 3%, so everybody I just mentioned. And then Netflix and OARK were up 3%, so they're right there with it. But everybody else beat the S&P and the NASDAQ percentage-wise, which means they were 4% or over, which was AMZ, Dizzo, MSFO, Zomo, Murni, GUI, PayPay, SQY, Coney, and Misty. Just looking, the biggest winners on the underlying side, from top to bottom, in case anybody cares, and then we'll end this. But top to bottom, number one with MicroStrategy at 149%, and then we have Coin, PayPal, GUI, Block, Moderna. Then we start with Zomo at 9%, Disney, JP Morgan, and then Microsoft at 4%, Amazon and NVIDIA at 3%, Netflix, Bulwark, and Apple were 0. Then the 4 red ones, which were Tesla, Meta, AMD, and AI. Of course, the worst on both sides, hands down, were AMD and AI. But anyway, I know we went through a lot more on the right side, but we had other things we didn't have to cover this week, and we didn't do a lot of spreadsheet changes. So, but yes, so we covered all 19. I did not mention that. 19 ETFs here, round done as a roll up or round up. As far as comparing here, 10 of the underlying, so 10 of the Yield Max ETFs beat out, and then 9 of the underlying beat as far as percentage changes. But anyway, this will be the weekly roundup for the week. Again, you can watch the distribution video, which is separate. And don't forget to vote on the poll for the videos for your preference for the daily videos, as this will determine what videos I start doing or I continue or stop doing next week. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Bye.